Hi, Miss Irene. My name is Jason Quek from Section 9. Today, I'll be presenting my individual assignment presentation for business enterprise, where I will be discussing on business ethics and on corporate social responsibility. Both I'll be talking about what it means, why that it is important, and case studies alongside them. Let's start. What exactly are business ethics? It is the involvement of moral principles and standards that guide behavior in the world of business and explores how companies navigate the tension between their economic performance and social responsibility. It is also the social responsibility of business is to increase its profits within the rules of the game, meaning engaging in open and free competition without deception or fraud. In this field, ethics means adhering to the legal and contractual obligations of the marketplace. Why is that business ethics is so important? It includes the fairness and honesty, organizational relationships, conflict of interest, and communication. Business ethics help retain the company's intangible assets, where in this case, intangible assets means the company's reputation, brand name, and logo, and also their customer base. It also bridges the gap of information asymmetry, where the business side does not hide any information from the customers, letting them know of any risks or important details that they should have known. It also protects the company and the vast community by being truthful, rejecting any illegal works, or being blinded by temptation of benefits included. Now I'll be talking about case study analysis on the company Top Glove and its forced labor allegations. But before we jump right in, I must first introduce you to the company Top Glove. Top Glove is a company that's established in Malaysia in the year 1991, and by now it is a world-leading glove manufacturer. It is founded, it is founded by Tan Sri Dr. Lim Wee Chai, where the company was once a lone manufacturer, now manufacturing operations in Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam, covering up to 26% to 30% of the world's rubber glove market share. Despite other than manufacturing gloves, it also does non-glove segments such as condoms, face masks, and dental dams. Now, what actually happened to Top Glove? During 2020, being the COVID era, the demand for personal protective equipment was spiking. Everyone were fighting for it. Soon, the company became the cornerstone during the lockdown. Cornerstone here means that it is the company is quite crucial for that time. In July 2020, the US Customs and Border Protection (CBP) issued a withhold release order (WRO) against Top Glove, effectively banning imports of their products, suspecting the industry of forced labor within the company, violating the business ethics supposedly applied by every business. What actually happened? Why were they accused? Well, first we must look at debt bondage. Top Glove hired migrant workers from countries like Nepal and Bangladesh, where they were forced to pay large recruitment fees, setting them back with a large debt even before they started working. Other than that, they had work overload. To comprehend the excessive pandemic demands during 2020, workers had to do overtimes daily, eventually having to push over the legal limits of 8 hours a day. And also their living conditions. Being that they are migrant workers, they are assigned to hostels which were cramped and unsanitary that are also provided by Top Glove. Inevitably, they too contributed to the spread of COVID-19 in the workforce. In my opinion, business ethics is something that shouldn't be neglected, where every currently formed business should apply to. Besides, making that profits is our main goal and enlarging the business ethics are what shapes the business, the foundation of it, and how the customers look at it. In my perspective, when opportunities are placed in front, the decision on how to deal with it must be thought beforehand, minimizing or even preventing any unwanted causes. Now I'll be talking about corporate social responsibility. What does it mean? CSR are context-specific organizational actions and policies that take into account stakeholders' expectations and the triple bottom line of economic, social, and environmental performance. It is a structural change in how success is measured into three areas, the three Ps. Profit, the traditional measure of corporate profits, people, social equity and fair labor practices, plant, environments, and stability. CSR is defined as managing the firm with that these three areas are sustained simultaneously. Why is that is important? Well, CSR helps in brand reputation and consumer trust. Such practices are able to determine or salvage a brand's reputation during a crisis, and consumers believe a brand's commitment to sustainability has more value to purchase. It also helps with risk management and regulation. Being proactive CSR activities helps companies to stay ahead and prevent from any mitigating scandals, being environmental lawsuits or labor rights scandals, and also ensuring the company's future. It also helps with financial performance, where companies nowadays are looking to invest with companies that have high ESG scores, environmental, social, and governance scores, which lead to a larger capital and operational cost decreases over time. Now I'll be talking about a case study on Petronas on what they did for their corporate social responsibility activities. For the first one, it'll be MEKA, Memapankan Ekonomi Asas Rakyat. It is economic empowerment and basic infrastructure projects. They installed water supply systems for Kampung Tinata Ulu, Sabah on June 2025, benefiting up to 200 families. They too also installed solar panels to fully benefit from solar power for Kampung Orang Asli Berasal in Johor and also solar hydroponics for local schools there. Besides that, they also trained 1,200 participants in the northern region in 2023 in branding, packaging, and business registration via SIRIM. SIRIM is the Standard and Industrial Research Institute of Malaysia as part of an entrepreneur foundation. Petronas' efforts of these CSR activities align with the community's engagement, where the company is attentive to the community needs and lending out a helping hand to them. For my suggestions on how Petronas could actually improve on their corporate social responsibility activities, I feel like they could offer training and knowledge to the tree youth to be that village technician and be assigned the role of doing a weekly maintenance on the solar power and water systems. Petronas can offer a small monthly incentive just to keep a daily log of the system's health and report to Petronas, offering a job experience at a young age instead of letting the systems become electronic waste. For my second suggestion, it would be that for the entrepreneurial skills program offered by Petronas, the 1,200 participants can be given a reward or a status as a preferred vendor, where those who hold this status can perform small businesses such as handcrafts or small F&B stores around nearby places, providing them a chance of stepping out into the business world, giving a chance to the upcoming entrepreneurs. Next, it will be waffle trees and reforestation, their second CSR activity. Well, Petronas planted over 74,000 trees nationwide with a planned initiative to reduce carbon and restore biodiversity. Petronas has done its CSR activity with alignment of the net zero carbon emissions by 2050 goal, with also a goal to plant 1 million trees across Malaysia. In 2024, Petronas has collaborated with the Sabah Forestry Department in order to restore the Kunkuler Forest Reserve, saving the forest from degradation due to previous overloggings and land use changes. Petronas also went to seek help from nearby villages, which are the Kampung Kunkuler, Kampung Nanturaan, Kampung Lohot, and Kampung Sosopon, while the residents were paid for their helpful acts. This CSR activity reflects the environmental sustainability and with community engagement, both reflecting the efforts made by Petronas to help out in the current world-facing problems. For my first suggestion, they could implement the Miyawaki method, where Petronas plants ultra-dense and fast-growing forests in small urban spaces, as small as a tennis court. These small forests consist of 30+ species of native trees, planted closely together where the trees grow 10 times faster and also enhances CO2 absorption by 30 times, functioning as effectively as a normal forest in a small space. They could also introduce forest drones. These drones help by monitoring and doing patrols around the forest, for example, the Kunkuler Forest. By doing so, the forest department can check on the forest's health, condition, and its moisture levels. When the drones detect moisture levels are low, especially during the drought seasons, it sends out a warning to the department, letting them know of a potential forest burning upcoming. In conclusion, I feel that the business world runs on a lot of factors, with business ethics and corporate social responsibilities being the two of them. This ensures that the business world is free to be explored, customers are able to do their purchases freely, and businesses can operate smoothly. I feel that business is some sort of a game where you must follow the rules in order to play happily or run smoothly. This will be my reference list that I've used in the presentation. They are in APA reference method and is alphabetically ordered. That is it. Thank you so much.